The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everybody. Hopefully you had a wonderful weekend, so we'll go ahead and get started here. So last week's 5 Moneymaker, know this and you'll bury your competition, become a better financial advisor. So make sure, if you haven't watched that, to go ahead and watch that. Found this in the, and Mike actually sent this to me, and it's the Vanguard advisor, for financial advisors that work with Vanguard as their clearinghouse. They had a report out, but they were talking about the relationship management is a business in, what the heck? Try again. Relationship management is a business development. I don't think they have very good English there. Maybe I don't. So how current advisors found? So they interviewed their people. How did you find your current advisor? 56% of them found it via referral. 19% just found because they were local in the area. Event sponsored and personal relationship with advisor. So, as you know, their friends, neighbors, relatives there. So, what do you think we're missing, guys? Where do most people get their advisor from? Yes, referrals, Mark. So, do we? Okay, so if we had our druthers, where would we want to get all of our clients from? From referrals. So, do we have a system for referrals? Yes, we do, Nick. Nick's got it, and Mark says yes. Good. So I'm going to just refer to that in a second. Now, likelihood of selecting an advisor based on a referral source, immediate family, 80%. So if the immediate family recommends an advisor, there's an 80% chance you don't even have to do anything, and they're going to move to you. You only have to get the other 20%. So a friend, colleague, so you can see it's very, very high. So this is super high. This is super high. So we cannot be ignoring referrals, okay? So how can we do referrals? There's a couple ways we can do referrals. One is the referral script. It's only a 2-minute long script. And when should we be doing that referral script? At the end of a 21 light for our clients. When else should we do a referral script, this referral script? Every meeting, Nick, not so much every meeting, but every annual meeting, I would agree with that, Nick. Every annual meeting, we should be doing this. When we go over the non-financial stuff, we should always do the referral script. Yes, so glad, during the delivery. So anytime, when we do a 21 live with our clients, we do the referral script. When we do an annual review with our clients, and the first thing we always cover when we do an annual review is the non-financial stuff. We're going to use the referral script. When we do a delivery, we're going to do the referral script. But the most, well, you know what? I don't think I would do it on the delivery, because that's the old style. That's the old style referral. I want to do it when I'm talking about the non-financial. And generally during a delivery, am I talking about the non-financial? When I'm delivering product, contracts, etc., am I talking about non-financial? No, I'm going over all product. If I do a referral script during product, or when I'm talking about product, what does the client assume I'm going to do with their client, with their referral? Yeah, sales. So they're going to run away. They don't want. See, I don't want to refer my friend, neighbor, or relative to a salesman who's going to try to get them to buy windows or siding for their house or a roof for their house or even investments. So why does ours work? Why does our referral script work? First of all, what did I say that we do the referral script? We do it after we talk about the non-financial. So why are they making the referral? For us to sell them a product because we have great product and we've got great returns and we got great income plans? No, they're making the referral. Why? To get the because there's nothing, exactly, Ronald, there's nothing for them to buy. It's all a benefit to them. And it's all about who? Them. See, that's the reason our referral script works versus all the other referral scripts out there. All the other referral scripts, I mean, I've told you guys this before. I probably read at least 25 books on referrals in the last 35 years. I've read thousands of articles on referrals. And all of the referrals books and articles are full of crap because they're all based on, hey, Mr. Client, why don't you help me? Or, hey, Mr. Client, why don't you help your friend? So, guys, is your client going to 99.99% of the time, is your client going to put their reputation on the block, the possibility of rejection on the block to help you? Let's get some more. I got one no. Give me some N's if that's the case. Yeah, they're not going to do anything to help you. Are they really going to do it to help their friend, neighbor, or relative? No. The only person they're going to make a referral for is if we can prove that what? It's going to help them. And that's what our referral script is about. So when we do the non-financial stuff, we're going to say, was this stuff important? Oh, Jeff, can you get on for a second?
Yep, I'm here.
So whether we do the 21 Light or we do an interview, and we always review the non-financial stuff with the interview, I say, so Jeff, how important is this stuff?
Oh, it's very important.
Yeah. And it's very important, and I totally agree. Now, right now, it's probably not that important, but you bring up it's very important. If we did not have these things done, how important would it become?
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, we would be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, because really, I mean, did it cost anything for us to fix these things?
No.
It took a little bit of time, but a lot of time or a little bit of time?
Just a little bit of time.
But boy, oh boy, if we didn't have these things done, and then one of these things happened, how much time, how much hassle, and how much money would it cost to get these things fixed if we hadn't taken a little bit of time and no cost to get them fixed up front?
Yeah, it could have been a big hassle.
Yeah. So, and I bring that up because, no, we've taken care of it for a year. We're going to, and again, no cost, no hassle. But I was wondering, do you have any neighbors, friends, relatives that look up to you, come to you for guidance, run things by you, look to you for advice, that you'd want me to take care of spend half an hour with them, take care of these non-financial things for them, no cost? Because if we don't do that, and they get into this big problem, since you're their go-to guy, who are they going to come to with all these problems?
Oh, they're going to come to me.
Yeah, so is there anybody that you would like me to spend a half an hour with, take care of these things, no cost, no hassle, so that their problems don't become your problems?
Oh, yeah, I can think of some people.
Who are you helping, Jeff?
My brother, my sister, my mom, my dad.
Are you? Who are you really helping?
Oh, I'm helping myself.
Yes. Because we said before, do referrals work to get them to help their mom, their dad, or their relative?
No.
No. Because when I say, oh, Jeff, got to work with Mike. He's awesome because, so if I'm trying to get Jeff or refer my advisor to Jeff and say, oh, you got to work with him, Jeff. He's awesome. He's given me great returns the last 8 years. He's got me in a great income plan. He throws these great barbecues in the summer. You got to work with him. What's Jeff likely to tell me, guys? That's okay. I got a guy. That's right. I got a guy. So how does Jeff feel at that point? So Jeff is not going to refer to help their friend. No, again, somebody say, well, one time I had a guy refer to help his friend. Well, yeah, how often does that happen, guys? We don't want it to happen once in a blue moon. We want it to happen regularly. Now, because here's the only time our clients make referrals is when their friend, their relative, or their neighbor comes to them and says, hey, I need an advisor. Do you know a guy? Now, how many of our clients will refer us? If their friend, neighbor, relative goes to them and says, hey, I'm looking for a guy, do you know a guy? How many of our relatives, our clients would refer then? They all would. If we have a good relationship with them, they all would. But how often does their friend, neighbor, or relative go to them and say, I need a guy? How many times a year does that happen? Not very often, that's right. Rarely. So I need something that's going to get them to do it very often. And that's what this script does. And it takes 2 minutes. How long did that take me to do it with Jeff? Less than 2 minutes. And it's all about, hey, I'll help them. Because they know that if I don't get mom and dad to sit down with Mike, if I don't get mom and dad to sit down with Mike and dad has a stroke or dad dies, guess who mom's going to come to with this mess of problems? Who's mom going to come to? Me. I don't want that to happen. So mom and dad, you need to work with Mike. And does it have anything to do with investments, guys? They're not going to refer mom and dad because of investment. They will refer mom and dad if they think, if mom and dad doesn't take care of all this legal crap, that mess is going to end up on my plate, and I don't want to spend hours and days and months trying to help mom figure this out. Does that make sense? So you got to know this referral script. That's right. You can find it. Oops, didn't want to go there yet. You can find that under the audio video training school. You can also find it under the, if you go to getting started, well, I'll just go there. A second here, let me bring it up for you. So if you go to getting started, toolbox, 21 light process, here it is. To do it, maybe I'll go down for referral script. You can also type in referral script up here, and guess what it'll do? It'll take you right to it. There it is at the audio video library, the 21 light process. So guys, don't ignore that. You gotta do that referral script every time you do a 21 light, every time you do an annual review, every time you do a full 21-point checklist. Okay, make sense? Cool. The other thing is we did add the do-it-yourselfer section to the website, so it's under the audio video school, under library, audio video school, do-it-yourselfer, dealing with do-it-yourselfers. I did a whole, just a month ago, I did a do-it-yourselfer whole coaching call on that, and I still have people telling me, yeah, do-it-yourselfers, they're pretty tough. Guys, are do-it-yourselfers tough if you do it the right way? No, they're not. Remember what we said? How much is a guy answering the phone? Because do we attack do we have the do-it-yourselfer attack themselves, guys? Who does the do-it-yourselfer attack in the script? The company they work with. The company. That's right, the company. So remember what we talked about was that the guy answering that phone, highly paid advisor, or probably making 15 bucks an hour. The guy answering the phone, low paid. So are they making great decisions, or are they just reading the script that's been given to them by the company? They're just reading the script given by the company. So if all these things are a problem, is it the guy on the phone that's a problem, or is it the company? Is that company rotten to the core? The company's rotten to the core. It becomes even easier with a do-it-yourselfer if you do it the right way. Because do-it-yourselfers, they like to pretend they're smart or they're stupid. Yeah, they love to pretend they're smart. So here's the thing. They've got two choices. When they find out all the problems they have that we show them with the 21-point checklist, they've got to make a decision. Either they're going to have to admit I was an idiot, or they're going to throw the company under the bus. Guess what they choose 100% of the time? Admit that they're stupid, or throw the company under the bus. What are they going to do? Yeah, they're going to throw the company under the bus. So we did add all of it. I'm still hearing, even after that coaching call, I'm still getting guys telling me that do-it-yourselfers are tough. No, they're not. So here, under the library, audio video school, there it is right there, okay? We're going to go into a little recording here about the turnover today. And I wanted to make a commercial here. Guys, when you go to the 21-point checklist for the scripts, if you have not watched this 21-point checklist end goal coaching call and have the outline printed and always in front of you, you're missing a humongous tool. What the end goal is that it's what I want the client to say at the end of each one of the 21 scripts. It's what I want the client to say at the end of each one. So I'm going through each of them on the coaching call. Please watch this again. You cannot watch this enough. And when I'm studying the 21-point checklist, guess what I have in front of me? When I'm meeting with a client, guess what I should have in front of me? This outline is going to tell you exactly what you want the client to say. Make sense? So this is the outline. So at the introduction, I want them to say two things. This meeting is not about finding a solution. It's about finding out what I like and don't like about my current situation. I have done all the necessary heavy lifting. Any changes I need to make is small and easy. If the client says those two things, how well did you do the introduction script? Well, does it matter what words you said? No. If they say these things. Now, do you notice any of these things that I want the client to say? What two words are missing from what I want the client to say here? No, that's one of them, Glad. Yep. What's another one? Guys, yes and no. It's yes and no. Are we ever satisfied with a yes, and are we ever satisfied with no? What do yeses and nos mean? I want everybody to answer this. What do yeses and nos mean? Michael's got it. Everybody's getting it. Nothing, 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 nothing. They must give us, see how these are all complete answers. Now, for introduction, survivors guides, and will and trust, we're not using these to leverage to get them to admit their guy is not doing the job, not to get the guy screwing them. These are just letting them know, here's what the meeting's about. The survivor's guide is simply letting them know this is not just about money. We're going to have other things talking about just money to kind of reset their what their expectations are for the meeting. The will and trust, we spend 2 or 3 minutes on it. That's it. But now, from the power of attorney all the way to the end of the other scripts, what word has to be in all of those? From the power of attorney on to every other one of the, very good, Nick. Every other one of the scripts, very good, Glad. Every one of the other scripts. So I've only got 2 people who've given me the right answer. What's the 21-point checklist about, guys? That they're not diversified? You got it, Stephen. Well, everybody's giving me the right answer to that. So if it's about the advisor screen, then what does word has to be in all the rest of the scripts? Advisor. 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 And if I went on, guess what would be in all of them? Advisor. Because if they're not saying their advisor is taking advantage of them after each one of these. Now, again, sometimes it's in small ways because we don't even mention the advisor from power of attorney all the way through property casualty. It's always, what kind of advisor would I be if I didn't cover these things? But this is our door opener. This is the big toe in the door, the foot in the door, the ankle in the door. This is, by the time you get down with these, they're going to have said about 15 times, because 2 or 3 times for each one of these, that their advisor is a bad, or no, that any advisor would be a bad advisor for not covering these things, and they'll connect the dots in their head saying, oh wait, my advisor is a bad advisor. And then for everywhere on, it has to be the advisor. So you should have these. If the client says all these things, if the client actually says all these things, what percentage of clients will move? If the client says all the things in all the way through all 21, yes, they all move, because they would have to be a lunatic to say all these things and decide not to move. And Jeff, when we listen to the tapes that work, how many of the clients are saying these things?
Oh, they all are.
They all are. They all are. So guys, you should have this outline in front of you and making sure you cannot move on until they say these things. You cannot move on to the next script until they say what they're supposed to say. Okay? Now, I'm great at showing all the things that advisors are doing wrong. When I do tape reviews, I show, here's what the advisor did wrong. Here's what the advisor did wrong. Here's what the advisor could have done better. Here's what the advisor could have done better. And I've had a few guys say, and just in the last week, say, Mike, that's great that you're helping us see what's wrong, but can you show us somebody who's doing things right and that it's working? So Jeff, I think it's not next week, but the following week. Is that right, Jeff? I think
Yep,
2 weeks from now.
That's right. Yeah, 2 weeks from now.
Okay. Jeff's going to actually do a coaching call where he shows all the scripts being done right and the client saying exactly what they're supposed to say, and it's working perfectly. And I'm having Jeff do that because I can't help myself, because guess what? Even if the client did everything perfectly, guess what I would do as a coach? Guess what I would do? Yeah, Scott, I'm still going to correct them. I'm still going to say, here's what you could do better. And I just can't. I've tried to stop myself. Jeff is much better at giving that positive reinforcement. So I'm having him do the call, and I'm going to actually turn off my mic so I can't jump in and say, yeah, but he did it okay, but here's how he could do better. So, but today is going to be still about here's how he could have done things better. Okay. So we're going to talk about turnover. This is the crib notes for turnover. So, okay, I have to get into the script now. So we're going to go ahead and start here.
Choose those.
Yeah, there's an enticement besides performance.
Mm-hmm.
And so we see that over and over again. It's one of those areas that's kind of a disappointment, but we see that over and over again. So turnover ratio, 96 is high.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like it's costing about $17,000 a year, which, like you said,
I think I started too far in. So here we go.
Well, I don't know. Does the bonus come out of my, should come out of the company, but I don't know.
Yeah, the bonus won't come out of your pocket. I like that part.
Okay, but he's being,
Oh, stupid me. Okay, I started at the end instead of the beginning. So just a second here, guys. Let's get to the very beginning. Here we go.
Well, I don't know, they'd feel bad if they didn't have it.
It's awful. It's an awful thing to see people go through. There's a lot worse ways to spend a couple $100 a year when you've got it. I mean, if you only made $800 a year, a couple $100's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you for giving me the Edward Jones statements. I went through everything in there, and you had 23 different funds. So on my computer, I have a printout for each one. I didn't print them. I was just trying to save trees and stuff. But I also have something that I use, which is taking all 23 of those funds and blending them together so I can get a picture of kind of what's happening.
So he didn't print all of them. Why? To save paper. So do you think I printed all of them or not, guys? And you can talk to Trisha, Missy, Jeff. I am a tree hugger. I am a tree hugger. But guess what I do when business is business and being a tree hugger is being a tree hugger. When it comes to business, I print all of them. Why do I print all of them? Yes, Glad, visual proof. I'm not going to show them all of them, but I'm going to rifle through and go, see, I have all of them here, but here's a summary. I need her to believe me. I need her to believe me. It drives me bananas when somebody says, really? I have to print 116 pages for the 21-point checklist? Why do we print 121? Why do we like it when it's 121 pages, guys? What does psychology tell us about weight, heft, gravitas, value, right, Stephen? It shows its value. The heavier it is, the more value it is. You could actually do the 21-point checklist with a checklist, front and back page. This is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, just a little check marks. What's that going to tell them? How much time and effort did you put into it if you have one page? So, guys, print them. You don't have to show them, print them. So that you know, he said he had it in the computer. Now, another thing's happening here, guys. What do you think's happening? There's a problem here already. So he's talking about what, guys? Yeah, print them in planetary. I agree, Dale. What? He's right into what, guys? What do we have to do before we whip out Morningstar? What do we have to do before to whip out Morningstar? If I start showing, that's right, Millen, third party. I have to go third party. Otherwise, they can discount. And guys, the reason I do the third party script before I talk about Morningstar, and just so you know, this is his first. He's walking into the. This is his first discussion about fees. He's had no discussion about fees. He's now getting into the fees. Okay. And he did another. We're going to talk about another thing that he skipped here in a second. But before we go into fees and before we show proof, we have to get the person to tell us that the proof is valid before we use it as proof. If we use it as proof, what's wrong with using it as proof and then getting to validate it? They now have something. They have something on the table to protect. I need to get them to validate Morningstar before they have anything to protect. But if I use Morningstar to show them everything they have is wrong, guess what the knee-jerk reaction is going to do? If I use Morningstar to show them everything they have is wrong, guess what their knee-jerk reaction is going to be? To say, well, why should I believe that? Why should, well, you know, how do I know they don't have an agenda? How do I know that I should believe them? So you got to get them to tell you why you should believe them before you show them anything with what they have. Does that make sense?
And so I did a bunch of research in here, and I want to talk about a couple different areas. First is fees. So you're presently paying about $6,400 a year in account fees, which is kind of normal. It's right about 1% for you.
64 what?
About $6,400. But you've got about $16,600 per year in something called annual turnover cost, which is hard to see.
So guys, do you see? This is his first venture into fees. What do you have to do before you get to turnover, guys? What do you have to do before you get to turnover? Are those fees coming out of thin air? Are those fees coming out of thin air? No. In this case, He's got mutual funds. Do you do the mutual funds fee thing after the turnover or before the turnover? You got to do it before. Because are they going to believe you that if you just come on? Believe me, I learned this the hard way, guys. That's why I created this scripts. That's why I created the 20-point checklist process, because I learned the hard way. If you just say, look, you're paying too much in fees, and point to a number on the page, guess what people do? Believe or don't believe? If I just say, look, right here, it says you paying, guess what they all say? I've never seen those fees. I've been working with this guy a long time. My accountant's never seen these fees. My accountant never seen the fees. I haven't seen the fees. My advisors didn't say the fees. Why should I believe who? If my accountant didn't show me, my advisor didn't show me, and I ain't seen them myself, why should I believe you? So guys, the reason we have these scripts is so that they have to believe themselves. Because I know they're not going to believe me. I absolutely know they're not going to believe me. That's why I have to have them explain to themselves. But you just don't see. We're so used to thinking, what? Numbers are right there. There's the proof. Let me prove to you. Can you prove anything to people, guys? Can you prove anything to people? No. They have to prove to themselves. So just throwing a number at them and saying that's what you're paying is not going to work. We'd love to take that shortcut, but guess what we found about taking that shortcut? It does not work. So we have to do the work. So he skipped this whole B and C share mutual fund script. You know, he didn't go over why we believe in Morningstar. If you just go to, you didn't even start with the Ford. He didn't talk about why would we not believe Merrill Lynch. If we want to know the best investment in the world, would we go to the Merrill Lynch site or would we go to a third party site? All those things. He didn't do any of those things. And that's why you're going to see that's going to bite him. Do you think that's going to work out well for him, or it's going to bite him in the butt? It's going to bite him in the butt, and you'll hear how that happens.
Would it be okay if I cover that with you a little bit?
I'm going to back up a little bit and say here. So he skipped this whole mutual fund section and goes right for the turnover. And what did we see? Did she buy into the 6,400 yet? Did you hear her buy into the 6,400 in fees yet?
But you've got about 16,600 per year in something called annual turnover cost, which is hard to see. So would it be okay if I cover that with you a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, so turnover, and you can see that right here.
Where do you see the 6,400? Because I've never found.
What's happening, guys? I knew that would happen, so I'm going to back up here.
And stuff, but I also have something that I use, which is taking all 23 of those funds and blending them together so I can get a picture of kind of what's happening. And so I did a bunch of research in here, and I want to talk about a couple different areas. First is fees. So you've got, you're presently paying about $6,400 a year in account fees, which is kind of normal. It's right about 1% for you.
64 what?
About 6,400.
Okay.
But you've got about 16,600 per year in something called annual turnover cost, which is hard to see. So would it be okay if I cover that with you a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, so turnover, and you can see that right here.
Where do you see the 6,400? Because I've never found any fees for Edward Jones there, and I've never gotten credit with my taxes.
Yeah, it's hard to see them, isn't it?
Well, there's no place, even the tax people aren't able to give me credit for any fees for Edward Jones.
If you stick.
So what's she saying to him right now? Yeah, Tom, you got it right. Scott, you got it right. She doesn't believe him. That's right, Glad. So do you see how there is a reason for the scripts so that she can't not believe them. Also, it's funny, he brought up the $6,400 in fees, and she's got $16,000 in turnover costs. $16,000, and what does she focus on now? The $16,000 in turnover costs, or is she still back on the $6,400 in fees? Crazy. Got to do these things in the right order, guys. So we back it up.
give me credit for any fees for Edward Jones.
If you stick with fee strategies, we may be able to help with that. Sort of make sure the tax people can see it. But see, this is one of the 23 funds you have. Every one of them I have a report like this.
Okay.
All the fees for each one are listed down here.
Okay.
So for instance, this one fund is...
So far, guys, how many complete answers have you heard instead of yes, yes, okay? How many complete answers have you heard so far? Yeah, 0, zippo.
0.67, kind of 2/3%.
And it's called, okay.
It's actually a blend. There's management fees and then something called 12B1 fees for this particular fund.
Fund expenses.
Yeah.
They call it an expense for me.
So if you have an expense, you've got to have that much earnings before you can have any positives, which is what makes this a concern for me.
You see what she's saying there? Yeah, but that's an expense, not a fee. Why? You shouldn't be calling an expense a fee. That's an expense. Guys, what is she doing? I mean, for us, that's not reasonable. A fee, expense is what? The same. Yes, Nick, she's rationalizing. She's saying, yeah, but you said it's a fee. It's not a fee. It's actually an expense. Expenses are okay. Fees are bad. No, they're both the same. But she's feeling, is she happy or is she getting defensive? She's getting defensive. And it's because who's delivering all the bad news? Who's delivering all the bad news? He is. Don't deliver bad news because people don't like it. Have you ever heard they kill the who? Who are they going to kill? The messenger. I don't want to be the messenger. They have to tell me, guys. These scripts are here not to make your life miserable. These scripts are here to make your life fun and happy and easy. I know it seems like the scripts are made to make your life miserable because there's so many and they're long. But in the end, they make your life gleeful. It lowers your stress. It lowers the client's stress because they're okay with. They're still mad, but they're less stressed finding out for themselves than having you. How they look at it. I look at it. I'm helping this person. I'm helping her. Why is she defending? Why is she attacking me? Why is she pushing back on me? I'm just here to help. No. Do they look at you as being there to help? Are they looking at you as being there that you're attacking them? How do they look at it? Yeah, they think you're attacking. We're actually trying to help them, but they look at it as being attacked. It's like a teenage kid. When you try to help your teenage kid, do they look at it as you're helping them with your wisdom and your experience, or how do they look? That you're attacking them. So then that's how she's feeling right now. And she's defending. That's why, boy, you guys know this about me. I am a debater, my way or the highway. I'm going to tell you that you're wrong. And I that's just my personal nature. So the only way to me to avoid all that stuff is to say nothing. Say nothing. Only ask questions. Let them say everything. Here we go.
So each page has one of these. I blended them all together. And
hey guys, so Ron says that's hard. Do you think it's, guys, of all the people you know, who do you think it would be very, very hard for that person to do? What person do you know that would be very hard to do that? Yeah, me. Because I'm a dick. I'm a debater. I'm always right. So don't tell me it's hard. Because if I can do it, guess what I know? So you know what? When you say something's hard, how does saying something's hard help you guys? Where's the value in saying something's hard? No. So believe me, being in the military, and I know guys that were in the SEALs, I know guys that were in the, and Jeff was a Marine. Let me ask you, Jeff.
I'm here.
Okay, so when you were doing physical training, if you told your drill sergeant it was hard, he said, okay, we're going to back off. What did he do when he said it was hard?
Made it harder.
Made it harder. So it's either, who said you either do, that's Yoda. What? There is no try. You either do or do not do. There is no try. So there is no hard. It's just that, this is going to take me longer than I thought it would take, but I'm going to put in more effort. So guys, so I'm, Ron, I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to everybody. Everybody wants to say that it's hard. I've never found saying it's hard is of any value whatsoever. You just do it. Just do it. Now, jumping 30 feet in the air, is that hard? Yeah, it's impossible. Yep, so just do it.
So what I'm looking at right now is this turnover ratio of 96%. Now, these reports...
Oh, I'm still going to address this. So Ron's still saying change is hard. So, Ron, I love you. You've been awesome so far. Ron's brand new, and he's kicking ass. He's doing a great job. So, but Ron, I'm going to pick on you a second. So he said, change is hard when you've done something you've done for a long time. Ron, would you like me to fix you, and guys, would you like me to fix you all immediately? Would you like me to fix you all immediately with you not asking enough questions? Because I can. Okay. So only Scott wants me to fix him? Okay, everybody do it. So here's what you do. Buy me a ticket to where you are. They don't allow you to carry 45 revolvers on, or 45 pistols on the gun. So I'm gonna have to buy a pistol or borrow a pistol while I'm there. And then I'm gonna sit in your office. And every time something comes out of your mouth other than a question, I'm going to shoot you in the knee. Okay, so how many of you would fix that problem of not asking enough questions at that point? How many of you would? Now, here's the funny thing. So, Jeff, initially, would there be some uncomfortable silences as they thought, geez, I got to frame this in the form of a open-ended question. I got to think how I can say who, what, where, why, when, how. Would there be some uncomfortable silences, Jeff?
Oh, sure there would.
Yeah. And would there be some kind of weird questions that come out kind of sounding weird?
Yeah, absolutely.
Initially, yeah. But what would happen? Not 10 years, not 10 months, not 10 weeks, not even 10 days. What would start happening in just 10 minutes, Jeff? What would start to happen to those uncomfortable silences? Would they get longer or would they get shorter?
No, they'd get shorter.
And how about the weird questions? Get more of them or less of them? And not 10 years out, but 10 minutes later.
Yeah, they'd start to make more and more sense.
So when somebody says to you, Jeff, that this is hard, you're teaching an old dog new tricks, knowing that we could fix it if I sat in the corner and would shoot them anytime something came out of their mouth other than or maybe I'll just hook them up to an electrical shock every time they do it. How quickly could they fix it if that was the case, Jeff?
Oh, you could fix it quick.
So what's somebody telling me when this is hard to do? It's hard to change.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the reality is sometimes things are hard. That's just the way it is. Med school's hard. That's why not everybody's a doctor. But it's not impossible. You just have to put your mind to it and do it. Golf is hard. That's why, not everybody plays golf. But if you want to be good at it, it's possible. You just have to put your mind to it and do it. It's really more a matter of resolve than it is ability or skill. It's not
That's what it is. It's not ability, it's not skill, it's not memory.
It's that you're not motivated enough to want to do it.
And I always tell this story. So for the first 45 years of my life, I said, I don't have a brain for names. I don't have a brain for names. I can remember faces, but I can't. And Jeff, for the first basically 10 years of 5Q, when people would come out to training, did I call them by name or did I call them, hey, big guy, hey, wild man, hey, dude? Did I use a first name at all for the first 10 years of 5Q?
No.
Guys, because I told myself I can't remember people's names. So I just call people, hey, big guy, hey, wild man, hey. No, I didn't call anybody. But finally I said, I'm telling you guys, quit making excuses. Quit saying it's hard. Just do it. So here's the funny thing, guys. I said, I got to quit doing that crap. I'm making all the excuses everybody else is making. There's BS that I can't remember somebody's name. So at age 45, guess what I did? For that next class, I started to concentrate on everybody's names. Then what I did is I had a 5-minute video, a half an hour in, 5-minute video, had a half an hour in, went back to the room, looked at the seating chart, locked everybody's names into my head, and guess what? 10 years or instantaneously was I able to remember people's names. Instantaneous. For 45 years, I said I can't remember anybody's names. Then when I decided to quit telling myself that and just do it, guess how quickly I was able to do it? When I quit telling myself it was impossible, it's hard, my brain's not wired that way, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, I fixed it instantaneously. So when you quit telling yourself something's hard and just do it, guess what magically happens? You've all sat with it, guys. When you've all sat with a 5-year-old when you're trying to teach them to tie their shoes, they all say it's what? Hard, 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 hard. And then when they just sit down and do it, what do they find out? It's not as hard as I thought. So get a little off track there, but to be honest with you, that lesson is a heck of a lot more valuable than what I'm showing you here with the scripts, because it has to do with everything you do in life and especially with 5Q. There we go. I can find my arrow again. Come on, arrow. Hello. Trisha, my arrow disappeared. Sorry, guys.
Try hitting escape. I don't know if that will close you out.
Escape. What in the world? Wait. Sorry, guys. Technical difficulties. What in the world? My computer's locked up.
Completely frozen?
Oh, completely frozen. Well, guys, guess what? Rather than make you have me reboot and everything, we're going to call it a day today. But that's why I'm not getting any answers on my questions either. So sorry about that, guys. My computer completely locked up. I guess it didn't like all the things that I was saying there. So we can either redo. And can you see the answers, Tricia? Because I can't anymore.
Yep, I can.
So we can either continue this on a future call on the turnover, or next week we have actually a new technique that Jeff Thompson at ECA is going to show us that a lot of guys are having huge success with, and it's a huge value to clients, and it makes you a ton of money. And so that's going to be next week, and they're just going to show you how to do the how when you do it right, it works very, very well. The 21-point checklist and the scripting, etc. And if you want, I can circle back to this if you want to see the turnover. So, Tricia, do people want to see the turnover again since I got it locked up here?
Yes, I'm getting a lot of yeses.
Okay, so sorry about that, guys. I'm not going to waste your time. We're about 15 minutes left anyway, so by the time we get that up, it'd be a waste of your time. So we will circle back and we'll add that to after Jeff 2 weeks from now. We'll show you what happens when you do it right, and then I will fill in with the turnover the next time. So sorry about that, guys. I appreciate your patience on this, and you guys all have a great rest of the week, and we'll talk to you all next Monday. Thanks, everybody.